Springbok Radio presents Life with Dexter. Yes, it's the family show for all the family. It's Life with Dexter, and the star of the show, Dexter Dutton.
Let's face it, there are people in the community who make a great deal of fuss and drama over the common cold. First sign of a little sniffle or sneeze is the green light for them to go into their performances. Now, my story begins one morning recently at the Duttons' breakfast table when Ashley said,
"Hey, Mom, why isn't Compost dressed to go to school? She's still in her dressing gown."
I'm not going to school this morning.
Janie has a bad cold coming on and she's going back to bed after breakfast.
Aw, heck, if she's got a bad cold, then I've got a broken caroliliac.
You know, Jessie, I must say it is a bit willing the way you females put on a great big act over a simple little cold.
Mummy, I'll go to school. It doesn't really
You'll
matter.
stay home today and check that cold. You're only a child, and a child's cold has to be stopped before it really starts.
Oh, I say, Ashley, wouldn't it be a terrible thing if males acted like females? I mean, nothing would ever get done in this world.
Nothing at all.
Oh, nonsense. Men are bigger babies than women when they're sick.
Jessie, what would happen to this family if I became all dramatic over a garden variety cold?
Daddy, I distinctly remember the last time you...
Don't say anything, Janie. If your father likes to think of himself as a big, strong, suffering he-man, well, then let him think it.
Pop is a big, strong, suffering he-man. Now, what about on Sunday when he cut his finger real deep with a carving knife? He didn't yell out or say one word.
Of course he didn't. He fainted.
So then, Mark, I said to them, what would happen? What would become of my family if I became dramatic over a simple little cold?
Yes, Dexter, but let's discuss our work, shall we? Now, the important thing for us to talk about is how we can get old Tackle to give us his advertising account.
Well, I mean, he's practically agreed, hasn't he?
Practically isn't good enough. Now, we need to take him to dinner or something like that to clinch the deal.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll take him to a restaurant for a good meal, but don't suggest having any more of these deal-clinching dinners at my home.
Oh, now then, Dexter, you know very well that one of Jess's home-cooked dinners is the best way for us to get a new client.
Oh.
Oh, Tackle can't stand restaurants or nightclubs or anywhere they serve liquor. You see, he's a home lover.
Yeah, a home lover. But every time you get one of these characters and you try to snaffle him, he's a home lover. Why do they always have to love my home? Why don't you just invite Tackle to your flat and cook the dinner yourself? Or better still, get Edna to cook it.
Look, Edna and I aren't married yet. She's still only my fiancée, and Tackle is far too conservative a type to enjoy a meal in a flat with a widower, his fiancée, and his son.
Well, all right, Mark, but let me get one thing straight. If I get Jessie to put on another special dinner for one of your clients, the least you can do, if your firm gets his business, is give me that bonus you've been promising.
Dexter, it's a deal.
Huh?
Now, let's see. Today's Friday. Tackle gets in town today and will stay over till Monday.
Yeah.
I'll invite him to your place for dinner tomorrow evening. That'll give Jessie plenty of time to prepare.
Oh, yeah, that'll give her plenty of time to prepare a barbecued bull. Women just love one day's notice to get ready for a special dinner. If you invite if you invite Tackle for dinner tomorrow night, he'll be lucky to get anything better than a pie and chips.
A pie and chips?
That's what I said, a pie
I think he'd prefer chips. Now, you see here, Dexter, if you explain to Jessie that swinging this deal with old Tackle will mean big business for me and a big bonus for you, she'll put on a massive meal. Bless you.
Oh, bless you, too. Look, your fantastic ideas are always getting me in...
Oh, what a horrible place to get into. You know, Dexter, you're getting a cold.
I am not getting a...
Look, that's the 6th time you've sneezed in 1 minute. You're definitely getting a cold. Look, I don't want you with a cold right now.
Oh, well, for goodness sake, a little bit of a cold isn't gonna... A cold? I might be getting a cold. Oh, my throat. My throat's got a horrible tickling feeling. My head. Mark, I've got a temperature. I sneezed again. Mark, I'm getting a cold. Oh, I won't be able to work this afternoon. I'm coming down with a racking, shocking case of double influenza. Hi, family, I'm home.
Oh, hi, Bob. Hello, Daddy, darling.
Oh, Dexter, you're home early, aren't you?
Oh, no, don't kiss me, girls. Don't come near me. You'll get the germs. Oh.
Dexter, what germs?
Oh, my cold germs, Jessie, that's what. Jessie, I'm not sure if I've got pneumonia, double pneumonia, or triple pneumonia.
Children, it would appear that your father has a slight cold.
Daddy, mine disappeared early this afternoon. My slight cold didn't come to anything.
Oh, Janie, your slight cold was a slight cold, but my complaint's far more than that. Oh, did you hear that wicked sneeze, everybody? Did you hear it? Every time that happens, something way down me seems to snap.
Well, could be your sock suspenders.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Your father's dying again.
Well, Jessie, I'm so close to dying, there's only a little thread holding me in the balance. Oh, Mark Prentice realized how bad I am and sent me home early. I've just got to get to bed right now.
To bed?
That's what he said, Janie. He's just got to go to bed.
Oh, heck, Pop. Remember, you're a member of the male species. You're a man.
Well, that's right, son. I'm a man. But I'm also a man who wants to die with his boots on.
There, Daddy, are you comfortable? You're all tucked in and covered up.
Yeah, that's right, Janie. I'm all tucked in and covered up. Just like I'll be when the lid's screwed down.
Daddy, please stop talking like that.
Jessie, I've been lying here reading the medical encyclopedia, and I'm afraid I now know what I've got.
I know what you've got, a very slight cold.
I beg your pardon. It just so happens, dear, that I am suffering from neuritic plunkivitis.
Neuritic plunkivitis?
If you ask me, you're suffering neurotic plunk or nothing.
My dear Jessie, I mustn't shout. Shouting could burst my neuritic plunker valve. My dear Jessie, I have diagnosed every symptom I have, from hot flushes to spots in front of my eyes, and everything points to neuritic plunkivitis.
Your head doesn't feel hot. Where are the hot flushes?
They're inside my head. That's where they are, inside.
Well, if they're there, there's plenty of room for them.
Oh, can you see spots in front of your eyes?
Actually, there are even spots in front of the spots in front of my eyes.
Oh, dear. Oh, it looks like I'll have to call the doctor, even though he won't like being called for a thing like this.
No, don't bother calling any doctor, dear. I know for sure I've got neuritic plunkivitis, and I've read all about it. There's nothing to be done except wait and hope for the... Oh.
What was that again, Daddy?
Oh, I said I can only lie here and wait and hope for the...
Come on, children. We'll go and serve your father a 3-course dinner, and one of you can bring it up on a tray to him.
I'll bring it up to you, Daddy.
Oh, I'll stay with you for a while, Pop, and help you wait and hope for the...
Jessie, dear, may I come in?
Oh, good morning, Edna. Yes, come in.
Oh, I saw Mark last night and he told me Dexter was sick. How is he today?
My husband is about as sick as a teenager at a rock and roll dance. He's got a slight cold, nothing else.
Oh, Jessie, aren't men babies? Mark had a slightly sprained ankle last year, and you'd have thought he had both legs amputated.
Oh, Edna, to be quite honest, I'm the one who's really sick this morning. Dexter, if you please, just this moment informed me that I'm to put on a special dinner tonight for some conservative old character named Taggle.
Yeah. Mark told me about that, too, last night, and I said that he had a horrible hide to even suggest such a thing to Dexter. Jessie, you're going to refuse to feed old Taggle, aren't you?
Oh, no, I couldn't do that. Dexter said it means a lot to the firm of Prentice Advertising, and, well, it also means a bonus for him if he and Mark get Taggle's account.
Well, if you're going through with it, the least I can do is spend the day here and help you prepare and cook the dinner.
Oh, well, thank you, Edna. I'd certainly appreciate that. Fortunately, I had these 2 chickens on the freezer part of the fridge, so I'm just going to serve roast chicken and vegetables for the main course.
My word, these chickens look beautiful. How long have you had them in deep freeze?
Oh, I'd say about 2 or 3 months. Of course, frozen, they're supposed to keep young and tender indefinitely.
Yeah. Jessie, it makes me jealous. It's not fair.
Oh, what's not fair?
That somebody didn't deep freeze me 40 years ago. Oh, imagine it, Jessie. If I'd have been deep frozen all that time, I could greet the world today as a young and tender chicken.
Well, there's one thing wrong with that, Edna. You'll notice that these chickens haven't any kick left in them.
Jessie, do you mind if... Oh, good morning, Edna.
Good morning, Dexter. You're not terribly well, I hear.
No, I'm not terribly well at all. Did Jessie tell you what my dreadful complaint is?
Oh, I did not tell Edna that you had neuropumpkin or whatever it is. I told her you have what you do have, a common cold.
I do not have a common cold, Jessie. Even if it was a cold I've got, then it wouldn't be a common cold. I don't associate with anything common.
Dexter, I have a bottle of stuff at home that was given to me by someone months ago. It's guaranteed to cure anything from a cold to snake bite in a flash.
Yeah, well, that's very nice, Edna, but I doubt if it'll cure neuritic plunkivitis.
Oh, well, according to the friend who gave me this tonic, it's a sure cure for almost any illness. And even if it doesn't cure what ails you, it makes you feel so good you don't care about being sick.
Dexter, that's definitely the sort of tonic you need for tonight, to get you through this dinner with old Taggle.
At least it might make me feel good just for an hour or two so I can do the right thing by Mark. And then, after tonight, well, I guess the way to live is one day at a time. Oh, that I was sure I'd just last one more day.
We'll return you to Life with Dexter in just a moment.
Jessie, dear. Jessie, I'm back. I've got it. Here's the tonic.
Oh, good, Edna. And my tonic's gone back to bed. He said he's going to sleep all afternoon to conserve his energy for tonight.
Oh, well, that won't do him any harm, you know. And Dexter needn't take this stuff till the last minute. It's supposed to act like magic, especially for a bad cold.
Well, with the size of Dexter's cold, 1 drop should get rid of it.
Yes. Maybe even this afternoon's nap will scrub off the little sneezes without this stuff. You know, Jessie, it's going to be pretty sticky this evening. I mean, with no one allowed to mention sickness, germs, smoking, or drinking.
Oh, I know. Oh, believe me, I'm not looking forward to it. Oh, Edna. Oh, that's a rather ominous-looking bottle. May I have a look at it?
Help yourself.
Morgan's Miraculous Elixir. Ooh, sounds very impressive.
Well, my friend assured me there's nothing harmful in it.
What's this? 94% proof spirit.
Yeah, Yes. I don't know what that means.
Neither do I. I don't either. 94% proof spirit. Oh, it's just a chemical term, I suppose.
No, what it must mean, Jessie, is this. You see, it contains some kind of chemical spirit, and the 94% proof part means that the tonic's proved itself in 94% cases.
My word, Mrs. Dutton, this chicken is really delicious. Absolutely.
I'm glad you're enjoying it, Mr. Tagle. Ashley, sit up straight.
Jessie, you're a wonderful cook. And Dexter, you're a lucky man.
Ah, yes, Mark, and I know it, too.
Of course, I can always tell the flavor of a freshly killed chicken. If there's one thing I will not eat, it's a deep frozen bird. Miss Dixon, you have a cold?
No, just a little piece of meat went down the wrong way.
Mr. Taggle, may I pass you some bread?
No, thank you, young lady. I do not believe in white bread. Most unhealthy.
I say, Jessie, Dexter hasn't sneezed once. Did he try the tonic?
No. He said his afternoon sleep got rid of his neurotic plunkabunk.
Mr. Dutton, you should be congratulated on your fine family way of life. I have noticed, since I've been in your home, no signs of poisonous tobacco fumes, nobody looking peaked or sick. And above all, it was like a breath of fresh air to me, not to be offered any alcoholic stimulant.
Oh, no, Mr. Tagle. Well, it's very nice of you to say that, of course, but, well, that's just the way we live. Of course, Mark and his son live the same kind of healthy life.
Did you sneeze?
Me? No, I guess it was just too much pepper on my dinner.
That was not a pepper sneeze. It was a germ-spreading, cold sneeze.
Well, I don't...
Dexter, dear, you know how none of us will tolerate sneezing in this house. Now, go out to the kitchen and take some of that special tonic that wipes off any sign of a cold in a second.
Oh, yeah, isn't it? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll take lots of it. We can't stand sneezing in this house. We just won't stand sneezing in this house.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Dutton, if I was abrupt with your husband. I'm just naturally allergic to germs of any kind.
Oh, yes, I quite understand.
Oh, Dexter's never one to go down with a cold, I can assure you. He and I just won't tolerate it.
Oh, Mr. Taggle, Pop would rather die than sneeze a sneeze in public.
Oh, yes, that's true. Daddy treats all germs like enemies.
Good.
Jessie, I suppose that's why Dexter hates people who inhale poisonous nicotine.
Yes, Edna, yes. And he's the same way with anyone who touches alcohol.
Hey, look, everybody, looky, I got rid of my sneezes. Oh, Taggle, waggle, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
Dexter, will you please stop talking rot and finish your dinner?
Jessie, darling, I'm not walking trot. I'm talking what? I'm making pleasant conversation, aren't I, Taggly-Waggly, eh? Taggly-Waggly?
A certain change seems to have come over you, Dutton, since you returned from that kitchen.
Dexter, you know, he's quite a wag sometimes with practical jokes. At the moment, he's trying to be the life of the party.
Yeah, that's me. I'm always the life of the party. Always the life of the party.
Daddy, what's the matter, Tom?
There's nothing the matter with... What's the matter with everybody? I just feel like I'm floating on a...
Jessie, could this be a symptom of the neuritic plunk-a-plunk?
I don't understand it at all.
Mr. Tackle, I suppose you won't mind talking a little shop after we have coffee later on? About your advertising account?
No, I suppose not.
Well, you better, Taggly Waggly, you better. After all, why do you think you're getting stuck into this expensive food here?
Well, never.
Well, yes, you did. You knocked off 2 helpings of chicken. What's the matter? Who's calling Dexter? Who's calling me? Chloe! Somebody's calling
I have just remembered something.
What'd I do?
I have a board meeting this evening, and I did not realize what time it is. Mrs. Dutton, I shall have to be rude in a moment and ask to be excused.
Oh, Mr. Taggart,
You mustn't be rude, Waggly Taggly. You see, you can't leave here until you've had your coffee and had a special talk with me and Moxie Woxie. If we don't get your advertising account, I don't get my little bonus, and you wouldn't like to see me starve, would you, Taggly Waggly Waggly?
Dexter, please.
Well, of course he wouldn't. Look, my poor little wife and my darling children, they go hungry and cold with no roof to their mouths. They have no roof over their little heads and no food in their mouth.
I'm afraid I must leave.
Dexter, you and I are going out to make some of my special coffee so Mr. Taggle can get away in a few minutes. Come on.
All right. Well, don't push me. I don't like being pushed. Remember, I'm the guy who knocked out Joe Louis with one punch.
Well, he's gone at last. And it's no thanks to you, Dexter, that I managed to get his advertising account.
I've got a splitting headache.
Oh, Dexter, you're lucky I didn't give you a split head.
Daddy, what was wrong with you?
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I just don't know.
Pop, you've never acted that way before.
Dexter, you seem to be almost inebriated.
He wasn't almost inebriated, he was stung. You know, I checked that elixir in the kitchen and it was 94% proof spirit. Huh?
The elixir?
Ma, what does 94% proof spirit mean?
Edna, to put it briefly, it means Dexter drank about a quarter of a bottle of almost raw alcohol.
Oh, now I know why my head aches.
Oh, Dex, no wonder Pop put on such an act.
Jessie, then it's really all my fault for supplying the tonic.
Oh, Edna, you were only trying to help. Anyway, it all ended well. Old Taggle-Waggle gave the men his advertising account.
Yes, that still doesn't make sense to me. 1 minute Taggle was going to walk out of the house in a wage, and the next minute he was in a different mood, signing contracts with Mark.
Yeah, Mark, just how about that? I seem to be making a fool of myself, and I couldn't help it no matter what I did, and Taggle was ready to slaughter me, and then he suddenly got all matey and chummy.
That's easily explained.
It is? How?
Well, his cup of coffee was 6% pure coffee and 94% proof spirit.
You to join us again next week at the same time for another installment of Fun and Frolic with Life with Dexter. Springbok Radio presents Life with Dexter. Yes, it's the family show for all the family. It's Life with Dexter, and the star of the show, Dexter Dutton.
Dutton is not an extravagant woman, and she only buys one new hat a year. However, every time she tries to get the money from Dexter for this new hat, it's like trying to get blood out of the proverbial stone. Let me tell you about a certain recent weekend, and my story begins on the Saturday morning at the breakfast table.
Jesse, I've said no a dozen times, and I'll say it 100 more times. No. Who ever heard of paying 7 guineas for a hat?
Well, 7 guineas isn't much when a woman only buys one hat a year.
Well, I only buy one about every 4 years, and they cost me a fraction of 7 guineas.
Yes, dear, but over the years, prices have inflated about as much as your head.
Hey, that's a horrible thing to say, Mum.
Daddy, you must realize that a hat from Emil's exclusive shop can cost up to 40 guineas.
Janie, I wouldn't pay 40 guineas for the exclusive shot with Emil thrown in.
Dexter, I'm not after 40 guineas, only 7. And it's for a beautiful model.
Well, Jesse, I'd willingly pay 7 guineas for a beautiful model, but not for a hat.
Oh, I mean a model hat. And don't make stupid jokes like that in front of the children.
All right, I'm sorry. Let's just drop the subject, shall we?
I have no intention of dropping the subject until you agree to let me have the money.
Oh, well, it's going to be a long-winded, one-sided, useless conversation. Look, dear, please, ask me for a reasonable amount for a hat, and I might just think it over. I remember buying you a little hat just after we were married, and it cost 25 shillings.
Yes, dear. That was the same year eggs were 1 9 a dozen.
You mean they're over 2 shillings today?
Oh, Daddy, eggs are in the vicinity of 6 shillings a dozen.
6 shillings?
Oh, Pop, we ought to move to another vicinity.
That little egg you're eating right now, Dexter, is worth almost 6pence halfpenny.
It's ridiculous. That is unbelievable. You mean the shops get 6pence halfpenny for this, and yet the poor little fowl does all the hard work for a handful of corn?
So you see, Daddy, Mummy's request isn't at all preposterous.
6pence halfpenny for 6 mouthfuls of yellow and white goo?
That's right, Dexter. And everything else has proportionately risen in price.
Oh,
so a good hat is not dear at 7 guineas.
Oh, yes, it is. And don't you try to baffle me with Don't you try to baffle me with science. I bought a fishing cap a few weeks ago, and it was 4 11.
Oh, dear. And you'd like to see me going to the ladies' club and to town wearing a chic little sailcloth fishing cap?
Oh, no, I wouldn't. But no hat should cost more than twice the price of a fishing cap. And twice 4 11 is under 10 shillings.
Dexter, don't you dare leave the table yet. I haven't finished arguing.
Jessie, if I have to wait for you to finish, I'll have to bring my bed to the table. I'm off to the village to buy some pipe tobacco.
Tell me, dear, is pipe tobacco still 6pence an ounce?
I'll see you later, kid.
Wait a minute. Before you leave the house, I'd like you to polish the kitchen floor.
Jessie, I am tired after a hard week's work.
So am I tired after a hard week's work.
My back's troubling me.
So is my back troubling me.
I've got a headache.
So have I got a headache.
I'm starting to get old.
Oh, Mummy, that was cruel.
Yeah, but Mum, it was one up against your duck house.
Dexter, before you go, just 1 second.
Oh, I'm on my way, dear. What is it?
Would you agree to tossing a coin to see whether you give me 7 guineas or not?
Oh, Jessie, look, I've tried tossing with you again and again for nearly 20 years, but I always lose.
Oh, but Daddy, you might win this time.
Yeah, sure, Pop. If you've lost a few hundred times, the odds are with you now to have a win.
Oh, and what is the bet to be, Jessie?
Well, let's put it this way. Heads, you stop arguing about giving me 7 guineas, and tails, you don't argue any more about giving it to me.
Now, wait a minute. Let me get this. Heads, I stop arguing about it. Tails, I don't...
Toss up the penny, Mummy, and get it over with.
Never mind getting it over with. I'm a bit confused, and I've got to work it out. Jessie, are you sure you don't always use a double-headed penny?
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Oh, Mum, if Dad thinks maybe you do, why not make it tails? Dad stops arguing about giving you the money, and heads, he doesn't argue anymore.
No, I won't be in it. No, I've just fathomed it out. I'm awake up, Jessie. I can clearly see the cheatery now.
Dexter, what cheatery?
You've probably got a double-headed penny and a double-tail penny.
Oh, good morning, Maudie. Yes, come on in.
Morning, Mrs. Gallagher.
Hi, Mrs. Gallagher.
Hi, kids. Hey, Jess. I just passed Dexter walking down the street muttering to himself as if he was crooked on someone.
Oh, he's crooked on me.
Oh.
I just had words with him.
Words? Words are no good where a man's concerned, love. What you want to use is a good swift uppercut.
Maudie, did my husband speak to you when you passed him?
No, he walked on like he was just passing a bus stop. Of course, he could have mistook me for the back of the 9:15.
Well, Daddy's mad with Mummy because she wants to buy an Emile hat for 7 guineas.
Oh, Jessie, the one you got your heart set on. He's going to buy you that.
When Pop says no to Mum, he means it.
When Steve says no to me, he means he'd like a black eye. Jessie, you can stop worrying, love. Little Maudie's here. I'll think of a way to get 7 guineas out of old mothball pocket. Let's see. Listen, when's the last time he gave you money for a new hat?
Oh, about this time last year. But I was lucky then. I asked for £5 the same night Dexter bought himself a fishing reel.
Well, there's the answer to your problem.
Huh?
It's sticking out like the nose on my face.
Well, what's the answer, Mrs. Gallagher?
Oh, I reckon Mrs. Gallagher means Mum's got to wait till Dad buys a new fishing reel.
No, love, no, nothing of the kind. Go away for a minute. Jessie, love, all you've got to do is make sure your old man buys himself something, anything, so long as it's worth around £7, see?
Oh, yeah.
And you know it's about as hard to get a man to spend dough on himself as it is to get him to stay in bed for breakfast.
Maudie, you're a wizard.
That's me, Maudie Merlin Gallagher. Any questions?
Mrs. Gallagher, what can we make Pop think he needs that's worth at least 7 guineas?
Well, how about a new set of golf clubs? They cost about a tenner, don't they?
Oh, and the rest.
Eh?
A new full set of clubs is worth about, £80.
Even more with a good bag.
Why, that low-down, lying, no-good Steve. Oh, I'll throttle him when I get home.
Maudie, what's wrong?
What's wrong? He bought himself a brand new full set at Manning's last year and told me that was a tenner. Oh, when I get home, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stick him on a golf tee and whack him across the room with his own driver. That's what I'm going to do.
A driver, that's it. One club, one golf club. One golf club, say, like a driver, cost about £7. Mum, we've got to convince Pop he needs a new golf club.
Oh, well, that shouldn't be difficult.
No, it shouldn't. And your father's driver is a very old, dilapidated club.
Now, wait a minute. The old wizard brain's working again. Listen, Jessie, love. Dexter and Steve are playing golf together on Sunday morning, aren't they? That's tomorrow.
Oh, well, Morty, Dexter's not. I told him he couldn't go.
Yeah, I told Steve the same thing. But we've changed our minds. We're going to become extra good-hearted, you and me. Steve and Dexter will play together tomorrow, and Dexter's driver's going to be smacking the ball crooked in all directions. After driving a crazy ball off the tee for every shot, your old man will be easy talked into the fact he needs a new wood club, see?
Morty, how do you fix a golf club to make sure the ball goes crooked?
The club's got nothing to do with it. It's the ball. I've got a trick ball at home what's been made out of balance on purpose. It's called a googly golf ball.
We'll return you to Life with Dexter in just a moment.
Morty, love,
Yes, Gruesome.
you've been visiting Jessie for the last hour, eh?
That's right. That's right. And I've got some talking to do
Oh, gee,
to you.
sugar plum, I missed you.
Well, I've only been out... You what?
I said I've missed you. I mean, with Snail not home and you out of the house, well, I've been that lonely. Morty, on Saturdays when I'm at home, I like to have your smiling face around like.
Have you been guzzling my cooking, Sherry?
Oh, love, I haven't touched a drop. Is it so unusual for me to mention missing your lovely smiling face?
More than unusual, brother. It's unheard of. Do you mean the same lovely smiling face what last night you compared to King Kong?
Oh, now, Morty, I only made that remark in my heated anger after you said I couldn't play golf tomorrow. When I married you, you had a face like a film star, and you've still got a face like a film star.
Donald Duck or Pluto?
I mean Bridget Bardot. I mean, what's Bardot got that you haven't?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Only a lot less mileage on a Speedo. Now, look here, Gallagher. Whatever you're softening me up for, you're wasting your time. There'll be no poker game for you at Riley's tonight, and that's final.
Oh, Morty, what a thing to say. Such a thought never entered me head.
A lot of things enter your head, and by golly, there's plenty of room for them to rattle about in it, too. Well, if it ain't poker, I bet it's golf. You're going to start harping again about wanting to play golf with Dexter tomorrow, aren't you?
And just what's wrong with a bloke having a game with his mate on Sunday? I've been slaving away all week from Monday to Friday, earning a living for me family. And on the weekends, I cop this.
You can go to golf tomorrow.
And when I ask a simple little favour about me recreation, the answer I get is, you can go to golf tomorrow. It's enough to make a man... Hey? What? You can go to golf tomorrow.
No, thanks, I don't play, but you can. There is just one small favour you can do for me in return.
Here it comes. Have I got to paint the whole house before I go or build a swimming pool?
Oh, the comic again. No, nothing half so difficult. Jessie and me want you to make sure Dexter don't hit one straight golf ball off the tee with his driver tomorrow.
Eh?
Listen, I've got a googly golf ball some mug gave me once for a joke. When you smack it, it goes everywhere but where it should go, see? Now, tomorrow, you're going to see that Dexter hits the googly from the tee at every hole and convince him it's his driver giving all the trouble. And you've got to talk Dex into buying a new driver, see?
Hey, Morty, love, you sure you and Jess ain't been swigging the cooking sherry?
No. The truth of the matter is Jessie wants Dexter to give her a 7 guinea for a new act, and the only way she'll get it is if Dexter wants to spend about the same amount on himself.
Oh, suffering Nellie, how can two women put their heads together and turn a kitchen into a snake pit? Morty, I will not do it. I will not bring in any googly ball and spoil a pal's relaxation and enjoyment. I don't do it.
Then you don't go near that golf course tomorrow.
I don't care. I'll forego me sport rather than forego me friendship with bird brain.
Oh, how touching. Listen, Steve, that set of clubs what you bought yourself last year, how much did you tell me they cost?
A tenner the lot, bag and all.
A tenner, eh? Oh, how funny. I heard they should have cost about 8 times that.
I think they was, they was second-hand.
Oh, no, you'll have to do better than that. The bag was brand new and each club was still wrapped in plastic paper.
I remember now. I got 'em wholesale.
And since when has wholesale price been 800% less than retail? Gallagher, when you said you paid a tenner for the set, you gave me a tenner to buy a new dress, remember? Now, I'd like you to fork out enough for a fur coat. I'll check at the sports store where you bought them, son.
Morty,
Yes, dear.
bring out your googly golf ball.
Well, I think it's about time we all went to bed. What time are you going tomorrow, dear?
Well, Going? Going where?
To golf. Aren't you playing with Steve in the morning?
Well, I thought you said last night I couldn't go.
Oh, I don't remember saying that. Dexter, I forgot what you said to me this morning when I asked about that new hat from Emil's.
Oh. So that's why everybody's being so pleasant and obliging tonight. Jesse, I am not paying out 7 guineas to have any game of golf.
Oh, dear. Oh, no, you've got it entirely wrong.
Emma.
You can play tomorrow without any strings attached. If I'm not getting the hat, I'm not getting it. That's all I want to know.
Yeah, well, now you know.
Yeah. Now I know.
Now Mummy knows. Yep, now she knows.
That's right. Now she knows. Jessie, dear, look, if you wanted 7 guineas for something sensible and necessary, you'd be sure to get it. I wouldn't mind. But not for a little bit of frippery, which is a luxury. I mean, who ever heard of anyone paying 7 guineas for something that won't even keep the rain off your head?
Well, one thing, Dexter. The next time you spend money on something for yourself, which is a luxury, may I please have the same amount of money?
Well, yes, certainly. I'll put it straight into your lily white hands. But you'll be wasting a long time. I mean, you'll be waiting a long time, because when I spend money, it's only for something sensible, practical, and absolutely essential. Now, let's all go to bed.
Yes, dear.
Yes, Daddy. Dad,
Yeah?
wasn't it funny the time you came home from the auction sale with that stuffed hippopotamus head, huh?
To bed! To bed!
Righto, Dix. Hit off. You got the first honour.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. That's funny.
What?
There's only one ball here in my bag, and I had several.
Oh, yeah? Well, what do you know, eh? Someone must have swiped the others.
Yeah, I can't understand. Oh, I don't know. All right. Here we go. Stand back and watch a champ drive straight down the first fairway.
Go to it, son. Put the pressure on me.
Right. Oh, what happened to that?
Well, you hit the ball like an old duck, mate. It trickled into that long grass 10 yards to the right.
Yeah, but I smacked a screamer. It should have gone 250.
Well, it went nearly 250 inches.
Oh.
Hey, just wait till I belt this one of mine, and I'll help you find yours. Here we go. There.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look. There's your 250-yarder.
That's not bad for a mug. Well, come on, I'll play an iron out of the long grass, and I'll still beat you to the hole.
All right, just follow me. I know exactly where your ball is.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I've got it.
All right. There's no need to touch it. Leave my ball alone.
Just checking. Yes, that's your ball.
All right. I'll smack it right to the middle of the fairway with my faithful little 8-iron. Hey, is this the same ball I used off the tee?
Yeah, sure it is. A white repaint with no markings on it. Yeah, I saw it land in this exact spot. Go on, mate. Give it a bash.
Yeah, all right. Oh, a little
beauty. Yeah, dead in the middle of the fairway.
Look at it.
Yeah. You know, Dex, your iron club sure worked better for you than that dilapidated old driver.
There is nothing wrong with my dilapidated old driver. It's years since I've hit a mad shot like that one with it. It still puzzles me, that shot. I swung at the ball perfectly off the tee, and yet it seemed to go all...
Googly?
Yeah, googly. Oh, Steve, let's sit on this seat for a while before we tackle the next hole. I'm disgusted with my play.
Ah, yeah. Oh, well, there's nothing to be disgusted about with your iron shots and your putting, Dix. You just haven't whacked a decent ball off the tee.
It's unbelievable to me that all my iron shots have gone as straight as a gun barrel, and yet every drive went only a few yards to the right or over to the left. And how about the one that landed behind me?
Yeah, Dickie boy, I keep telling you, you need a new driver. Like, that old thing you've got must have been used when they opened St. Andrews. Now, listen, mate. For £7, I can get you a wood that'll stroke uphill 300 yards with no effort.
£7. 7 guineas. Where have I had... Oh, no, Steve. No. This is one time I can't spend £7, pounds, or guineas on myself.
What?
No, Jessie's after a new 7-guinea hat, and she'll demand the money if I buy a new golf club. No.
But look, Dex, if your golf is going to suffer, you'll have to do something about it. I mean, even if you're up for 14 smackers altogether, it's better than duffing drives all the time.
Yeah, well, maybe, but I can't afford it.
You see, Dickie boy, watching you drive off the tee is more like watching a chook lay an egg.
Hey, Mom, guess where Pop's just gone?
Mummy, your new hat is as good as on your head.
Oh, sure thing, Mum. Pop dumped his golf bag on the front veranda and told us to tell you he was ducking down to see Fred Wheatley.
And Fred Wheatley is the golf pro who makes the new golf club.
Oh. And guess what Dad took with him? His old wooden driver.
Oh, then it worked. Steve and the googly ball must have done a thorough job.
You, Jessie, love, can Steve and me come in?
Oh, come in, Maudie. Oh, and Steve, I must congratulate you. Dexter's on his way now to see Fred Wheatley about a new golf club.
I know, love. I saw him going. Am I a good salesman or am I a good salesman?
Oh, stop skiting, Steve. You only put this over on Dexter on account of it was going to cost you the price of a fur coat if you didn't.
Maudie, I did it to help Jess.
Well, the main thing is, Mr. Gallagher, you did a mighty job.
A massive job, Mr. Gallagher.
No trouble at all for me, kids. I can sell any idea to anyone, merely by selling myself.
How could you sell yourself when I've had you up for sale for years?
Shush. Quiet, everyone. I can hear Dex coming down the side passage.
Now, listen, Jessie. We mustn't let him think we're waiting for him to fork out the 7 guineas.
Oh, hi, Pop. Mr. and Mrs. Gallagher are here.
Hi, Dickie boy.
Hello, Dexter.
Oh, hi, Maudie. Steve, I've just had a long discussion about golf clubs, etc., with Fred Wheatley.
Yeah? Good boy. I'm glad you took me advice.
Oh, Dexter, dear, isn't Fred Wheatley a golf professional?
Yes, that's right, Jessie, and he deals in new golf equipment.
Oh.
Tell me, Dex, did you tell Fred about this morning's round? And did he sell you something to improve your game?
Oh, the answer's yes to both questions. Jessie, dear, here's the 7 I owe you because I spent 7 on myself.
Oh, darling, thank you. Dexter, this is 7 shillings. Don't I get 7 guineas?
Oh, no, dear. A new golf ball only costs 7 shillings.
We invite you to join us again next week at the same time for another installment of Fun and Frolic with Life with Dexter. Springbok Radio presents Life with Dexter. Yes, it's the family show for all the family. It's Life with Dexter, and the star of the show, Dexter Dutton.
If there's one thing Dexter Dutton is terrified of more than anything else, it's being asked to make a speech in public. Now, the other evening at the dinner table, Jessie Dutton asked her husband this very thing, to which Dexter replied in a quiet, unassuming, but slightly firm way.
No, Jessie, no. Look, I am not giving a talk to that women's club of yours. Never in a million years will I give a talk to that foul yard full of clucking hens.
I would appreciate an apology. My ladies' club is not a foul yard.
Of course it is. It's a foul yard. There's birds picking at one another, squawking and crowing going on everywhere. There's sharp beaks and hooked ones wherever you look, not to mention all the ruffled feathers flying.
Well...
Oh, Daddy, how can you be so rude? Gee, Dad, you're sticking your neck out. Remember where the chicken got the axe.
Jessie, I am very sorry for losing my temper and going off the deep end, but... well, asking me to give a talk to anybody, much less a gathering of women, well, it made me forget myself.
Your apology is not accepted.
Well, all right, Jessie, but neither is your request. I can't help the way I am, and the way I am when I'm asked to make a speech or give a talk is that I see red. I just see red.
And in this case, it's Rhode Island red.
All right, that's enough.
Daddy, you're going to make a fool of Mummy at the ladies' club if you refuse to give a talk on advertising. Every other woman's husband has already given his talk.
That's true, Dexter. Everyone. A fortnight ago, John Oxley gave his talk on banking, and you're the only husband left who hasn't obliged.
I can't help it. I'll oblige in any other way, but not this way. I'll even oblige by putting on an apron and helping the ducks serve the dinner. But I just can't give a talk, dear. You know very well I get too nervous and flustered. I get too nervous and flustered.
Oh, you do not. Look, a month ago, even Steve Gallagher gave his little talk on the second-hand car market.
I don't care if Gallagher gave a talk on the second-hand fish market. I cannot and will not make a speech.
Daddy, you're just being silly.
Listen, Compost, Dad isn't being silly. He does get awful nervous and mixed up making a speech of any kind.
Yeah.
Well, you and Mum must remember what happened at Margaret's wedding.
What happened? Your father's speech wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad. Jessie, I finished up by telling the bride and the best man I hope they had a nice time on their honeymoon.
Come inside, Dickie boy, and sit down. What's on your mind?
Oh, Steve, I'm in strife with Jessie. I need some advice.
If you're in trouble with your missus, son, this is no place for advice. This is the house where strife was invented.
Where's Maudie now? Can she hear us in here?
No, she's with Snail over at her Aunt Flo's tonight. And even Maudie's radar ears couldn't pick up signals from there. Why, what's eating you?
Steve, about a month ago, you gave a talk to the Asheville Ladies' Club on the second-hand car market.
Oh, don't remind me of that. Instead of talking about second-hand cars to a bunch of women, you'd have thought I was talking about women to a bunch of second-hand cars.
Oh, that bad, eh?
Oh, worse, mate. It was horrifying. I can still see the old second-hand car sitting right in front of me with a sour face on it like the back of an old T-model Ford. Oh, yes, you can laugh. You can laugh, but you never saw a worse bunch of wrecks in a wrecking yard. A couple of old bombs up at the back kept interjecting, and I thought they'd never run out of gas. They was wicked-looking, low-slung jobs, too.
Yeah?
Hey, Hey, Dex, don't tell me you look like copping the same Jazz.
Oh, no, I do not. I refuse. I refuse, Jesse, point blank.
Did Jessie say you have to give a talk?
Yeah?
Then when are you going to give it?
I am not going to give it. I merely came in here to get your advice on how I can make my wife understand.
Dickie boy, if I knew how to make a female understand anything, I'd have the remedy on the market and be making $1 million. Mate, look, why don't you give in graceful like, give your little natter to the parrots and have it over and done with?
Steve, it's not as easy as that for me. You probably plowed through your little talk with no nerves and stammering and practically ignored your audience. I can't make a 1-minute after dinner speech without my stomach doing double back flip-flops.
Yeah? You mean you get butterflies in the tummy?
Yeah, except mine aren't butterflies, they're 707s.
Can I come in?
Good afternoon, Maudie. You're just in time for a cuppa.
Oh, I knew it. I've not only got radar ears, but I've got a bloodhound snoot as well.
Maudie, there's something I want to ask you.
Yes, love?
Was Dexter at your place last night telling Steve his troubles about having to give a talk at the ladies' club?
Yes, yes, he was. When I got home from Auntie Flo's, about 9 o'clock it was, they didn't know I was in the house, see? But I heard them going at it hammer and tongs.
I thought so. And did Dexter finally agree to do it?
Oh, well, the last thing I heard was me old man convincing Dexter to write out his advertising speech at his office today and start learning it word perfect.
Oh, Maudie, that's good. Look, I don't care whether my husband learns his speech, reads it, stammers it, or even sneezes it, as long as he gives it.
Well, don't worry, love, he's going to give it. And it can't be worse than the one Steve gave. Oh, crikey, I didn't blame Gertie and Molly Smith a bit for heckling him.
Oh. Well, I thought Gertie and Molly showed very bad taste.
Maybe they did. But so did Steve when he called them a couple of refugees from a junkyard.
Hi there, Jessie. I'm home early.
It's Dexter.
In the kitchen, dear.
I hope you're by yourself and the bag from up the street is... Hi, Morty.
Hi, Dexter. Am I the bag from up the street?
No, Morty, of course not. I thought old Mother Murphy might be here.
Instead of which old Mother Gallagher is in.
No.
Oh, Morty, Dexter never speaks about you that way.
Certainly not.
Anyway, dear, what are you doing home so early?
Oh, I just nicked away from the office, dear, to come home and practice this silly-looking talk I've written. Well, actually, it isn't a silly-looking talk because, well, now it's on paper. I'm quite pleased with it.
Oh, of course you are. And weren't you stupid to argue about whether you'd do it or not?
I still think I'm going to be sorry.
Oh, nonsense, Dexter. Look, love, you'll lay the ladies in the aisles at our next meeting. You will. You'll absolutely kill them, love.
Yeah, I might, but that's if I don't die first of a nervous collapse.
Oh, rubbish. Dexter, now look. You agreed to talk to us here now, and Morty and I will act as your audience.
No, thank you.
Dexter, I just thought of a wonderful idea. Now, listen, tonight, me and Steve will come over here, and with us and Jessie and the kids, you'll have a pretty big audience.
No,
Yes, and listen, you can give your advertising talk, and a couple of us can even pretend to be Gertie and Molly Smith. So you'll have the same atmosphere as you'll have Monday night.
No, really, Morty, I don't believe I feel like giving any...
It's a fine and constructive suggestion, and you'll do it.
But...
Now, you'll rehearse your talk tonight in front of all of us.
No, I won't do it, Jessie. No one's going to hear my speech today or tonight, and that is final.
Oh, Dexter, well, how about just part of it? Even about half or a quarter?
No, not one word. Not even my opening of ladies and gentlemen. No. Ladies and gentlemen, advertising is something about which the average housewife...
Dexter, hold it, dear. Look, you can't commence on Monday night with ladies and gentlemen.
Well, why not?
Well, because, love, there won't be one gentleman in your audience.
Oh.
There won't be any ladies either, I can tell you.
Now, all right. Oh, dear.
Daddy, before you get started, we haven't yet decided who's going to play the parts of Gertie and Molly Smith.
Oh, hey, let me play Gertie. Oh, no, I'm just the type.
No, Ash, no. It's got to be us what have heard the Smith dames lashing with their tongues. Hey, Morty, how about you and me being the hecklers?
Well, all right, but don't you ever do it, Steve. He's a terrible ham actor, you know, when he gets started. Go on, Dexter, love. You imagine you're actually giving a speech to the Asheville Ladies Club.
Yeah, give it a burst, Pop.
All right, and not too many interjections, Steve.
Don't like that much.
That's not the beginning of my talk. I'm just clearing my throat. I wonder if I should leave that in. That's a rather humorous opening. That's not... Shall I leave it in?
No.
All right. Ladies, advertising is something about which the average housewife is very ignorant. She honestly believes that...
Who do you think you're calling ignorant?
Yes, Steve, will you shut up?
I'm not Steve, dearie. I'm Gertie.
Oh.
Well, let Dexter get going a bit before we interrupt, would you?
Yeah.
Carry on, Dotto, dear boy. Carry on.
Thank you very much. Ladies, if a product is not advertised, it does not become known, and therefore does not readily sell. Now, a product of which limited quantities only are sold must be expensive, and vice versa.
Listen up to that last statement isn't clear to me. Would you mind repeating it?
Well, not at all, Miss Molly Smith.
Thank you.
I said a product of which limited quantities only are sold must be expensive, and vice versa.
Oh, I understand now. Well, I don't. Mr. Dutton's talk is becoming rude and out of hand. Kindly stick to advertising and leave out the vice.
I said vice versa. There was nothing to do with vice. Look, Steve, give a man a fair go, will you?
My name is Gertie.
Is it? Gertie? Well, I'm getting a bit shirty with Gertie. And any minute now, Gertie's going to get hurty.
We return you to Life with Dexter.
Steve, will you put down your hedge clippers and listen to what I'm trying to say?
Dix, I've heard every word you said, but I can't help you, mate. You've still got all this weekend to get your talk word perfect, so quit panicking. Son, if you want me advice, here it is. Learn all your stuff off word perfect, and then ignore what anyone says while you're yapping. Just bat straight on without hearing anything from anyone. Just rattle away like an old gramophone record. Or like Morty, that's the same thing.
Gramophone? I've got it. Steve, I've got it.
Oh, no, you haven't. I've got it, and I'm stuck with it.
Oh, I don't mean I've got that. Steve, you just gave me the answer without you knowing it. You mentioned a gramophone record, and that is it.
Hey, come again?
Look, instead of a gramophone record, I'll use my tape recorder. I'll record my talk on the tape this afternoon, and then I can play it at the Fowl House Monday night.
Oh, great. I can just see Mrs. Hootenanny introducing you and saying, ladies, let's have a big round of applause to Mr. Dexter Dutton, and out walks a tape recorder and takes a bow. Right?
Yeah, I guess that would be a little impersonal, wouldn't it? If only there was some way I could give my talk from the tape recorder without the audience knowing it was taped.
Hey, you could do what some of them so-called singers do on television. You could mime the words in front of the microphone while your voice is really coming from the recording.
Yeah. Well, why not? And the microphone at the women's clubroom is about the biggest microphone I've ever seen. I could keep my mouth well hidden behind it all the time I'm talking, and the women would never know the difference.
Not bad thinking, Dex, not bad. It might even work, and it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Monday evening early, you and I could sneak into the club rooms and hide the tape recorder in the supper room. Even get it hooked up to the loudspeaker somehow.
And I'll even insist that you come with me Monday night and give me moral support backstage.
Right.
Then from the supper room, you'll be able to start the tape machine running when you see me about to start making the speech.
It'll be a pushover. Dex, sometimes I think I should charge you for the use of me brains.
Well, everybody, how did you like the little speech?
Look, it was absolutely wonderful, Dexter.
Real grass, Dex.
Perfect, Daddy. You spoke like a trooper, Dad.
Oh, it was good, dear, but why did you bother recording it on tape? Surely you don't have any crazy ideas of playing this tomorrow night instead of being there yourself?
Jessie, what a thing to say. You have my word that I'll be on that stage in front of the Ducks in person.
Yeah, Dickie boy will be there, all right. And I've given me word I'll be backstage with him to give support.
Yeah.
You couldn't support your stomach with a pair of corsets.
Hey, Dad, seeing you've got the tape recorder out, what about us having one of those concerts we had when you first bought it?
Yeah, I suppose we could all have a concert. Yeah, look, we'll have a little impromptu one. There's still half the reel of tape left without wiping off the talk.
Oh, Dexter, it won't hurt to wipe off your talk. We all heard it and enjoyed it.
It's possible.
You see, the more times Dex listens to himself before tomorrow night, the more he'll get every word planted in his mind.
That's just what I was going to say. Yeah, that's just took the words right out of my mouth. Now, the machine's running, everybody. Who's the first to entertain? Short and sweet, and we'll have 2 or 3 little turns each.
Well, I'll start off with my little poem. It's by Shakespeare.
Oh.
The night is dark, the way is drear. Methinks I'll have a glass of beer.
Well, I'm next if we go round in a circle. I'll sing my favorite old-time song. Daddy wouldn't buy me a bow-wow, bow-wow. Daddy wouldn't buy me a bow-wow, wow-wow. I've got a pussycat, and I'm very fond of that, but I'd rather have a bow-wow. No, I'm deaf, having on it.
Oh, okay, I'll tell a story I overheard Mr. Gallagher tell Dad last week. It's about a big buxom blonde who got into a taxicab and said to the driver...
No!
Oh, all right. I'll try and think of another one.
Yeah, you do that. I think it's your turn, Steve. Oh, dear. Yeah, it's your turn while Ashley thinks up a nice little story he heard at school.
Yeah, righto. I'd like to sing a brand new song I composed myself called The Orange Juice Song.
The orange juice song?
That's the name of it, love. Cop it, it's real romantic. Orange juice, sorry you left me. Orange juice, sorry you did. Go on, Dix. You have a go while Ash is thinking up a clean joke.
Oh. Well, wait a minute. I've got a short little song that's a bit like Steve's, only mine's called The Song of the Dutch Clog.
Oh, well, go ahead, dear.
Right. The Song of the Dutch Clog by me. I'd love to be in Holland, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
Morty, come on. You're the next item on the program.
Oh, you'll be sorry. Steve, love, what would you like me to do?
Don't ever ask me that question or you might get an answer.
Oh, he's a comic, this one, isn't he? I tell you what, Jeff, I'll sing the only song I know the words of. It's one of them Nelson, Eddie, Jeanette MacDonald songs, you know. Of course, mind you as I was only a young girl when they finished making movies.
Morty, you was middle-aged when they started making movies.
Why, you...
Oh, why don't you go home to your own mother? You drive a man up the wall, you
Morty Gallagher, please, no fights tonight. Now, Steve, that was a very nasty thing to say.
Yes, you go ahead, Morty, and sing your song.
Presenting Mrs. Gallagher, the Asheville Nightingale.
Oh, take your lap for the build-up. I don't know about a nightingale, but I better get the bird. All right, can I have a note? 10 bob will do. No, this is real serious. Now, I did learn this at school. It was great, and I got lovely marks for this.
What do you think you're doing with Daddy's tape recorder? What a mess! Quiet, compost. I had a bit of an accident. A bit of an accident? There are bits of tape everywhere. I know, but I'm joining them all together with sticky tape and Pop will never know. That's if you don't blur. Well, there's nothing important on this reel anyway. When I get through mending all the pieces, it'll be as good as new. Now, look, go and leave me in peace, will you, compost? So I can do this in a hurry before Pop gets home.
Oh, Steve, have you had a peek at that audience out there? I've never seen such a sea of frightening faces in my life. Oh, a bunch of hungry lionesses all waiting to pounce.
Yeah. It's the second time I've seen them, and they don't look any better tonight than when I ear-bashed them.
Oh.
Hey, what's going on the stage now?
Oh, Miss Rani Ramjam is giving a recital of Indian dances without Indian music.
That'll be choice.
Oh, I think Mrs. Kafoops is going to put me on next.
Hey?
Steve, are you sure you've got this contraption hooked up properly and ready to go?
Yeah, she'll be apples. I got the tape set right at the beginning, and I'll switch it on when you get to the stage, Mike, see?
Yeah.
If there's a few seconds dead spot before you hear yourself talking, well, just cough and clear your throat to cover it up like.
Oh, I see. Well, I hope the whole thing works.
Oh, it'll work. Remember to only mime your lips and don't talk, or there'll be two Duttons yabbering at the same time.
Oh, listen to that. That sounds like the end of Rani Ramjam. This might be me.
Thank you, Miss Ronnie Ramjam, for those delightful dances from faraway India. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker for this evening.
Oh, that's me.
To talk to us all on this interesting subject of advertising, here is his husband, Dexter Dutton.
Oh, I don't think I can.
Come on, Mr. Dutton, you're on.
Go to it, son. I'll handle this end.
Oh, dear.
Good on you, mate.
Here we go. This is a far, far better thing I do than I've ever done before.
Ladies, advertising is something about which the average housewife is very ignorant. She honestly believes that advertising inflates the price of the product, whereas, in fact, it deflates the price. Now, you might be asking yourself, how?
But I'd rather have a bowl.
Most likely, often noticed a big advertising campaign for a particular product, and you thought,
Methinks I'll have a glass of beer.
Got into a taxi and said to the driver...
No, stop! Morty, you was middle-aged when they started making movies. Put it in and go home to your mother, why don't you drive a man?
a product is not advertised, it does not become known, and therefore does not readily sell. Now, a product of which limited quantities only are sold must...
Sweet mystery of life I found thee.
Steve, turn it off, will you?
invite you to join us again next week at the same time for another installment of Fun and Frolic with Life with Dexter.